Hi guys, welcome to this new masterclass where I'll be working on different cello orchestral excerpts. As mentioned before in the previous video, what next? I will be working with you today on the Beethoven's 5th Symphony, second movement, the Andante con moto. I would like to ask you, before we start with this masterclass, share this video with your friends and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below this video if you want to see more upcoming tutorials, masterclasses, performances and so on. With this we are ready to go and let's go straight forward with this excerpt. Why I'm starting with this excerpt? This excerpt is something that will demand some time. It's not a very long excerpt, but there are a couple of things happening over here and it's a very delicate one. Besides, on most of the auditions, this one is asked mostly on the first round. So let's start with the first part of this excerpt. So what do we want to do here first? Let's take the score right over here, and it's written Andante con moto on the tempo, right? Which means slowly with motion. Sometimes we can get tricked by the word con moto and we play faster because of that. Especially during auditions, we get nervous, which is obviously, and then we play faster. And it destroys the whole characteristic of this piece. See? So let me show over here. Fast, right? Right, it doesn't sound bad or something, but it's a very inner feeling piece, at least this part and the other parts afterwards also. Don't play this fast, play this flowing. Andante, it's a walking tempo, right? Like as you would walk. About the dynamics here, this is also very important in general in all the orchestra parts. The whole first line here, which I just played, is in piano dolce. So please play like it's written over here. A common mistake that many of us make is to play this opening very open, too open, see? And then when it comes to the E flat on the Forte in bar 7, we don't hear a difference because we play this too open. So be very strict like this. I will show you. So like when we play everything too open, right? Again, doesn't sound bad or something, but there isn't this, contrast between the dynamics. Right now we're gonna do as it's written, so piano dolce, and then on the E flat here, we play forte, right? So here we go. See the difference here? Another common mistake here that we make, it's that we play this very statically. There must be some directions. A good exercise for this is singing the melody and you accompany yourself with the bass line. You can find the scores on EMSLP and so on, so that you see what's happening in the other scores. For instance, here you get accompanied by the double basses. So what we want to do here, is take the score of the double basses, we sing and we accompany, it would be with bow, but I prefer with pizzicato. So you know, so it would be like. So see, so that you hear very well these harmonics and so on. I apologize again for my singing. I know you can do it for sure much better than me. About the bowings here, you can start with the down bow, but you can also start with the up bow. I personally start with the up bow, but then be careful if you start with the up bow. So what I'm doing, you want to afterwards when you have this here, so that you connect this very well, so it doesn't have this stop, you know, or marking. See, because when you start with the down bow, it would be like that. See, so it's already connected. So if you want to start with the up bow, make sure that so that you connect it very well as it would be on one bow. See? And the last comment here in this section here, please be careful with shiftings. Make sure when you shift that you don't hear any glissandi that kills completely everything what you have built. Shift quick, light and smooth. You can practice like this. So you have the shiftings like see, so it doesn't become, or you know, glissandi, forget it about. Smooth. So practice like this. What you can do as well, a trick, it's when you play the note, so you put the volume, and right at the end you relax the sound, you release the sound a little bit, and on a moment you release the sound, you do the shifting. So it will be oops, sorry. Again. Here. This not, right? These heavy shiftings don't. Light, smooth and quick. Now we're here at the second part of this excerpt. Again, this is very easy to play, very static. So do the same exercise, you play this melody, this so you sing this melody, what I just played, and you accompany yourself again with the bass line. Dynamics. Dynamics again are very clear here. Piano dolce as in the beginning, except in bar 56 that goes into a subito forte and then an immediately subito piano in bar 57 with a crescendo into bar 58 and then going down in bar 59. So here. So everything is in piano dolce, right? And now the subito. And then here subito forte. Subito piano. And now the crescendo. Forte, subito piano again. See, so be very strict with this. So the feeling here has to be like a slow going carousel, you know, making its rounds. So again, it's very easy to play statically, that's why I asked you to sing this melody and accompany yourself, so you know where to go. About the bowings, start down as it's written and yeah, keep it like this. Don't do any changes between, just do what is written in the score and it's gonna be fine. Fingerings, let me show you what I do here exactly. Again, this is all completely up to you, but be careful for any shiftings again, so you don't do this glissandos, what I told before. And here also articulation is extremely important, so that helps you for the intonation. When you have a soft articulation, so really, for instance, so see, already you hear this glissandi that I was mentioning before, and it just doesn't sound right. So really, it's very important. So this helps you also for the shiftings, for the intonation particularly, and for the sound. Yeah, so I would show you the fingerings here, what I'm doing personally. See, but it's completely up to you. I like to stay most of the time here on the D string because it has this inner feeling. And for the last part of this excerpt, so it's the same principle, same thing as the previous part, the 16th one. It's just in a double tempo and more things are happening over here. So the danger again here, it's not only about shifting, right? But it's also the connection between the different strings. When you play this passage here, so play this with the fingerings that you want. It's my fingerings, I know it's a little bit weird. Most of the people, they play it right here. For the right hand here, very important. Play this passage with your finger as you go on different strings. Many people, they have the tension to do it with the whole arm, so it will be... No, use your fingers and your wrist, a very flexible wrist. So... Sorry. You can practice this with open strings, of course, slowly first. As you would, you know, draw. Like that, see? So here your hand has to be totally relaxed and flexible. Don't play with your arm or try to invent things, you know, like this. Because then it would sound like this. So already it loses its rhythm. No, really. Right, for the left hand over here in this passage, here articulation is crucial. If it was already important on the previous passages, here it's extremely important, because without articulation it gets really hard to get this in tune, you see? Again, smooth, fast and light shiftings here as well. And again, like in the previous passage, this is like a carousel. The other one was a slow one going. This one is already faster. And so on. Dynamics here. It's piano in general, and at bar 105 over here, you want to disappear in the piano. So, piano. Pianissimo. So really disappear here. And at letter C here, the Forte, we want to use a big amount of volume. For this, don't use your hands or pressure, you know, don't press this passage. Instead, use your elbow. A good exercise that I'll always like to do is take a heavy bag or something in the like that you put here on your elbow, so you feel really heavy. So don't press, you know, because then it would be see, it's the scratchy feeling. When you use volume, really use your elbow. Your elbow is really important here. So you need to feel the weight in your elbow. So it would be something like so this volume here, this forte, has a more open and free sound and not this, you know, scratchy thing. So this whole passage here, again, you want to play this as connecting as possible, as you would play everything in one moto. So not see. It's not easy, it's not very easy to connect this, but practice with this with open strings. Try to find, invent. And again, as everywhere else, very easy to play this statically, so always go directions without rushing. And at the end here, where we have the note at bar 123, so that means this one, I mean, you can play here on the A string as well. I play this on the D string, I always did that. I don't know why, don't ask me why, but I did it. So here this one, open this note. Don't press here. So even, you know, with your posture, you know, be open. So with this, we're done for today. I hope you enjoyed this mini masterclass and that you have learned a thing or two. Remember, with orchestral excerpts, be very strict and disciplined. You can always find the tutorial that I have made called How to Prepare Yourself for Orchestra Auditions to see what it takes to have a successful audition. Well, I thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time with another orchestral excerpt. Now let's go practice.